I have another Enya engine here that I just picked up off of eBay. This is actually the second one I picked up today, or that came in today. This is an Enya 46. As soon as I saw the ad for it, I kind of fell in love with it and tried to negotiate the price a little bit. But this is an Enya 46 Mark II, and to me, from the pictures and having it here in my hands, it doesn't really look like it's ever really been run at all. It's in excellent shape. So I was just starting to look it over, and if you notice, any of you Enya experts will notice that the valve cover excuse me, is on backwards. And for whatever reason, this is the second one of these engines I picked up and the valve cover's been backwards. I don't really understand why people can't see that, but anyway, it is what it is. So in inspecting this engine, like I said, it looks like it's almost brand new. Excuse me, but I noticed something odd, which is this screw here on the carburetor is really tall, doesn't have the spring, it's got some strange little nut here. I don't know what the deal is with that. Luckily, I have a spare carb that came with another engine that I took off, and I can replace that screw fairly easily and get this back to its normal shape. But I think the first thing I want to do is just take this off, take the muffler off. I had already loosened it. Now looking inside that exhaust port, doesn't look like, I mean, maybe it was run once, I don't know. Let's pop this rocker cover off and see what it looks like under there. Like I said, I think this thing might have had maybe one run on it. Yeah, just as I suspected, it's really clean looking inside there. This thing's got really great compression, so I really don't want to take it apart at all. I would maybe like to take a look at the top of the piston, but I'm really not sure if I even want to go down that far. I'll take this glow plug out. I mean, even the glow plug and the copper washer look, maybe it's just a new plug in there, but I mean, if a person doesn't know anything about engines, why would they go and buy a glow plug and put a new one in there? Doesn't really look like it's ever been used much if at all. Now it does smell like it's been run, and I can see, I know you're not going to be able to see on the camera angle here, but I can see the top of the piston and it looks shiny and bright and clean. Just like new. So I am not going to disassemble this engine at all. I'm probably just going to go ahead and replace this plug with an Enya number 3 plug, put the valve cover back on the right way, and maybe just check the valve lash and take it from there. Obviously the other thing I want to do is take this wanky screw out of here. It's the throttle stop screw, which would be a kind of an odd thing to lose if that's what happened. I would think that this throttle barrel would just come right out, so it looks like if nothing else I'm going to end up having to take this carb off so I can kind of see what's going on there. It's not the right size. How can that not be the right size? I'm starting to get a little nervous here now because that isn't the right size, which makes me think that maybe that's not even a metric screw in there, which is really disturbing because it should be a metric screw. But lo and behold, my 632 screw fits in there, so now I'm a little concerned. This is not the stock screw because this should be a metric screw, not a number 6 screw. I don't know if these strange factors alone dictate me taking this thing apart or not, but clearly this thing has been retapped to fit this screw, which really kind of sucks. Let's take a look at this carb and see why. So this is the air bleed screw. This carb barrel should just be coming right out of here. Yet it's not. Maybe it's because of this guy here. Maybe this guy's holding it in. Yep, that's what it was. Get a magnifier on here and get a paper towel. Yeah, this has definitely been run. I can smell the fuel residue. It's just odd. Huh. I don't know. This is the Enya 46 engine I got from eBay. I am going to go ahead and start taking it down because I've noticed some strange things about it. When I took the rocker cover off, I noticed a non-standard nut here, or the valve locking nut, and aside from that, this screw here was a 632 screw instead of being metric. And then when I pulled the drive washer off, I looked and saw that the front shield on the bearing looks a little odd to me also. So I think in light of these strange things, I'm going to go ahead and just start tearing this thing apart so I can kind of see more about what's going on. I don't think it's got a lot of runtime, but there's enough odd things here that it has me a little concerned. I don't think I'll go so far as to take the timing cover off. I need to get this carb off again real quick. But I at least want to pull the head and pull the front housing off. Move that stuff out of the way. I did already go ahead and put a brand new Enya number 3 glow plug in it. Because last night when I did that, I wasn't going to tear it apart. Wasn't going to disassemble it at all. But like I said, now, in light of these other things, I've decided I need to take a better look. Okay, so the head looks fine. Piston looks nice and clean in there, which is pretty much what I expected. Let me drop these things out, screws out, and then we'll take a look at the... There we go. Pretty nice looking valve train in there, which pretty much what I expected. I didn't expect to find evidence of too much runtime, but I'm just concerned as to how the front bearing got in that condition that it's in. You can kind of see some of the, if I get the light on it right, you can kind of see some of the dimpling on that shield. Let's go ahead and take this front housing apart. housing is just wanting to come right off too, which is a good sign. Okay, don't look too bad in there. A little bit of run time on it, obviously. The bearing feels really good. I don't really think I'm going to go to the point of pulling the piston out. Just going to put that aside. Probably have to get my mallet to tap this thing out, but I mean the bearings feel fine, so I don't know, maybe I shouldn't mess with this at all. I do notice, which is odd, I thought all Enyas came with gaskets on them. Maybe the smaller ones don't. I don't know, that looks pretty true and not too bad, so maybe I'll just put this thing back together now that I've taken a quick look at it. And I'll get a set of bearings for it just in case something happens. That outer race, or the outer shield on this just looks like it's been banged up somehow, but since I didn't do anything with the timing, I shouldn't have to mess with this too much. Just put it back together now.